6 properties of exponents in your notes from last week. How do we multiply exponents, divide exponents, power to a power, negative exponents, rational exponents we're going to work on. Let's just try a couple up on the board here together. For number 1, 10x squared y cubed z to the negative first divided by 4x to the fifth y to the 0 z to the fourth. Let's start working through these one at a time. 10 divided by 4, reduce that down. 5 over 2, very good. Now I have some exponents to work on. When I divide exponents, what do I do with the powers? For example, the 2 and the 5. What do I do to those when I take x squared divided by x to the fifth? Subtract. 2 minus 5 is a negative 3. So I'll write down x to the negative third and then cross that off. Let's just keep subtracting the exponents on the y's and z's. Y cubed divided by y to the 0. 3 minus 0 still is a 3. Careful with the negatives. Z to the negative first divided by z to the fourth. What is negative 1 minus 4?
Negative 4.
Negative 5. Directions say simplify using only positive exponents. How do I make these negative 3 and negative 5 exponents back into positives? Yeah, go ahead.
It's 1 over or 1 over x.
So any negative exponent becomes positive again if I stick it down into the denominator.
Yes.
Put it downstairs. Put it down below back into the denominator. Does the y to the third have to go anywhere?
Nope.
It's already positive. Let's just make one big fraction mark and start building our answer by thinking about what has to stay on top and what needs to get put back down in the denominator because it's a negative exponent. I have a 5 over 2, so let's put a 5 on top and a 2 on bottom. The x to the negative third, is that going to go on top or bottom? Bottom as a positive third exponent. How about y to the third, top or bottom? Top. It's still positive, so put it on top. Z to the negative fifth becomes z to the positive fifth, back down into the denominator. So final answer, 5y cubed over 2x cubed, z to the fifth.
Random question. How come the 3's were cancel?
The 3's because I have a y and an x are different terms, different types of bases. I can only cancel and combine like with like.
Okay.
All right, not too terrible. How about number 2? Number 2 is a squared b to the fifth times 3ab to the fourth to the negative second. A squared b to the fifth times 3ab to the fourth raised to the negative second. Think order of operations. What's got to happen first?
Parentheses.
So the exponent's got to come first, right? Then we'll take that and multiply it with a squared b to the fifth. So let's see here, carry this down. Now let's take everything in this quantity, 3a and b to the fourth, and raise it to the negative second power. So 3 to the negative second power. I'll just write that down for now. A to the negative second power. What is b to the fourth to the negative second power? When I have power to a power, what do I do with those numbers? 4 and negative 2.
Together.
Multiply them, yeah. B to the fourth to the negative second, take 4 times negative 2, and it's to the negative 8. Okay, now I see I need to multiply these together next. I've got a pair of a's to multiply together and a pair of b's to multiply together. I need to take a squared times a to the negative second and b to the fifth times b to the negative 8. So let's just bring down the 3 to the negative second and combine the a's and b's. A squared times a to the negative second.
0.
A to the 0.
1.
Which is just 1, so be careful, right? A to the second times a to the negative second. When you multiply exponents, add the powers. Negative 2 plus 2 is a to the 0. b to the fifth times b to the negative eighth is what?
Negative second.
Negative third. Negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. Now let's clean up these negative exponents. Anything that's negative exponent becomes a positive exponent when I throw it downstairs into the denominator. So 3 to the negative second is really 3 to the positive second down below. B to the negative third is really b to the positive third back down into the denominator. Be very careful. What is a to the 0th really equal to? Anything to the 0th power is always 1.
What about 0 to 0?
No 1.
5.
What is 3 squared though? I feel like I can simplify that.
9.
9.
Let's just call it 9. I can take 3 to the second and just make it a 9. 1 over 9 b cubed. Anything on the first two? Okay, those next two on the right half of the board, I'd like you to practice those, please. Let me slide this here so we can see. Right. Next two here. I'll put the answers up in a minute. We'll talk about it, but I'll give you a head start. Yes. Because wouldn't you just take 2 times 5 divided by 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still just 5. Or it'd be 2, pardon me. Next one, 2y to the 4th times 5x cubed y cubed all over 5xy squared. Last one, what is quantity 3x squared y to the negative 4th raised to the negative 5th? Okay, this is a test for you from last week. So let's see, we've got 2 times 5. That's going to be 10. What's y to the 4th times y to the 3rd? Y to the 7th. 4 y's here, multiplying with 3 y's here. How many y's are multiplying in total? 7 times y to the 7th. Because I'm just multiplying numbers here. 2 times 5 is simply just 10. When I multiply exponents, I have to add because I'm raising to a power here. B to the negative 4th to the negative 2nd is b to the negative 2. So I'm a little bit confused. Where, because this is the original question, right? What's this right here?
This is what I compiled my.
Okay. Let's keep simplifying. Let's write down what we got so far. We've got 2 times 5 together. And then simply just the x to the third. Or 5x y. Divide. What's 10 divided by 5? 2. Good.
Now like the second one.
Yep.
Do we have an alphabetical order?
No, it's just a habit. I mean, order doesn't matter. Applying anything. Any kind of convention with x equal y.
I liked it, only because it's the first thing I've done.
Probably come with anything I can help with.
Yes, we're starting
Oh,
with this.
Okay, let's look at number 3. Let's start with the top. Multiply together first. What's 2
Okay,
times
that's
5?
2 times 5 is 10.
Okay, so let's write that down.
10.
Okay, what's y to the 4th times y to the 3rd?
Y to the 12th.
Y to the 7th. Actually, when you multiply exponents, you add the powers. You just explain y. Y to the 4th, that's 4 y's. Times y to the 3rd, that's 3 y's. So in total, how many y's are being multiplied together?
So,
There's your answer. Does anything go with x to the 3rd? No. So
No.
let's just carry it over to the right. Ooh, no, I already had the 5. I just need the x to the 3rd. Already worked with that.
Oh, I did it.
Okay, now divided by 5xy squared
y squared.
because it was squared.
Oh, whoops.
What's 10 divided by 5?
2.
2. What's y to the 7th divided by y to the 2nd?
Y to the 5th.
Correct. What's x cubed divided by x?
X squared.
2x squared y to the 5th. That's what I had right there.
Doesn't matter what order these
No,
are.
because you're just multiplying them, right?
Yes.
Multiplication can go in any order you want. It doesn't matter. How are you going? Sure. Let's take everything raised to the negative 3rd power. Let's write this down. 3 to the negative. No. Actually, 1.7.
So it would be,
Let's just write it down first.
times r to the negative. And then you.
Negative.
It's not even an R here.
What is x to the 2nd?
Maybe there's no lunch. Maybe you're not eating today.
On her email, there's no lunch thing.
Here, she's multiplying.
No, yeah, we're gonna do that
Negative 3 to the
tomorrow or
6.
Wednesday, I'm pretty sure.
What's y to the negative 4th? To the negative 4th. Yep. Now you see how these are both negative x.
I know, and I don't want to
What are we gonna do
reassess
now?
it. I need to get at least like an A minus or a B.
On top is y to the 12th. On bottom is 3 to the positive 3rd power.
Geez, what the heck is this student of the week crap? When we were freshmen, we didn't get it once. And
This
then now
negative
it's all the
3x
freshmen that are getting it.
becomes positive 4th. So it's 3 to the 3rd.
But still.
Now, pull out the x.
It's been
X
a
to the
freshman
negative
for like the
6
whole
becomes
year.
x to the positive 6.
Yeah,
What is 3 to the 3rd? Let's simplify. That's 3 times 3 to the 3rd is 3 times 3 times 3. Times
Does
1
yours
more,
really
is
I don't know.
erase 3 to the 3rd and call it 27. You should have the answer. Flip it, kill it, how we come. Excellent. All right, I think I'm kind of, yeah, why is it 27? What's 3 to the 3rd? That's 3 times 3. 3 to the 3rd is 3 times 3 times 3. That's 27.
Oh, that's what I want.
You also need to take 3 to the negative third power. So it's not just 3, it's really 3 to the third. This 3 is also being raised to the negative third power.
Over 3y is equal to 3 times 3.
3 to the third. 3 to the negative third is 1 over 3 to the third. 3 to the third, what is 3 times 3 times 3?
Y, so just bring this up.
Okay, let's take a look at this first one I had you guys practice on. I'm going to start with what's on top. Think of those as kind of like the first step. It's like there's grouping symbols in the numerator. Do that part first. So 2 times 5 is what? 10. What's y to the fourth times y to the third? Y to the 7th. All I have left is the x cubed to break down. Now divide that by 5xy squared. Now we're going to divide, so switch gears. It's 10 divided by 5. 2. What's x to the third divided by x? X to the third. X times x times x. Now I divide one of the x's out. What's left over?
X squared.
X squared. 3 minus 1 is 2. Y to the 7th divided by y to the 2nd. Should be y to the 5th. All done and done. Anything on this one before I do the last? Questions on that first question? Okay. On the last one, the 3 x to the 2nd and y to the negative 4th are all being raised to the negative 3rd power. So I'm going to take 3 to the negative 3rd power. Write that down. What's x to the 2nd to the negative 3rd power? What do I do with those two numbers, 2 and negative 3? You're right. Multiply. X to the 2nd to the negative 3rd is a power to a power. So I need to multiply those two exponents together. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Do the same thing for the y's. What is y to the negative 4th to the negative 3rd? Y to the 12th, because of the double negative, that's now a positive 12th power. Are we done? What else do I have to work with? Negative exponents. To make them back into positive exponents, where do they have to go? To the denominator. 3 to the negative 3rd becomes 3 to the positive 3rd in the denominator. X to the negative 6th becomes x to the positive 6th in the denominator. Where does the y to the 12th go? Because it's still positive. Only thing that really stands between me and the final answer is simplifying 3 to the 3rd power. 3 times 3 times 3. 3 3's all multiplied together makes how much?
27.
27. Y to the 12th over 27x to the 6th.
Sure, retake